Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 10 of the NCL. As you can see, this is a replay because I wasn't able to do a live recording of my battle when I did it, so that's why we have what we have at the moment. Yeah, this week I played, well, I mean, it's last week at this point, but last week I played Magic Blades and the New York Meloettas, who brought the Alola Marowak, the Meloetta, Gardevoir, Mamoswine, Mandibuzz, and the Ordino against me. And I brought the Scizor, Primarina, the Cresselia, the Cryogonal, the Aerodactyl, and the Salazzle. All my sets underneath me on the webcam, you can see them scrolling there if you want to have a look at what I brought. Get a bit of an idea of what I was using, seeing as there's no play-by-play at the moment because it's a post-com, not a live-com. But anyway, we'll get into the match, as I believe I just lead with Primarina, expecting the Mamoswine lead, or an Alola Marowak lead, probably just to get up the Stealth Rocks if he gets a chance. Because I don't really have the best switch-ins for it. And yeah, he does lead with the Mamoswine and he just switches out as I go for a Sparkling Aria, which would have OHKO'd that and done the most damage to anything else that he wants to bring in, really, except except for this and Gardevoir and possibly Meloetta, which the Moonblast would have done more damage to, but okay, so Moonblast would have done more damage to more things, but it wouldn't have done nothing to the Alola Marowak, which is why I went for Sparkling Aria in case I wanted to bring that in for some reason. But I do go for Sparkling Aria and do 35%. As you see, it's got leftovers, and that allows me to bring in the Aerodactyl on this because it doesn't really have anything that would be able to touch me offensively. And I do want to try and start setting this up if I can. And there was nothing else I really wanted to switch in at this point to take, like, the Thunder Wave. Like, Aerodactyl getting that Thunder Wave is not the best, but it's not the worst either, because, like, Aerodactyl's still decently fast. Like, it's still going to be outspeeding this Ordino. It's still going to potentially outspeed Meloetta, depending on the set. And maybe not the Gardevoir, but still potentially maybe. Actually, no, because it's Mega Gardevoir, so it's not going to be outspeeding that after the slow. But yeah, there's nothing else that I really wanted to take the Thunder Wave at this point. Like, it potentially could have been fine on Cresselia. Primarina wouldn't have been too bad to get a paralysis on, but I get my Hone Claws up here as he gets a Wish Off, and he switches out into the Mandibuzz here, as I did Z Stone Edge. But I got paralyzed. Z Stone Edge 100% knocked this out, as we'll see on the next turn, because I go for it again. And this thing would have been gone without getting that Foul Play off. Foul Play did, what was that, like 74%? Kind of annoying that I got paralyzed, to be honest, because I would have been full health and I would have been able to take a hit from pretty much anything else he wanted to bring in. I think I even took an Ice Shard from the Mamoswine. If it was a faster Mamoswine, I wouldn't have taken an Icicle Crash, I don't believe, but an Ice Shard I would have, and I would have got a nice hit off with an attack. But yeah, as we see, Continental Crush here just murders that. But that paralysis definitely destroyed my hopes and dreams of living a hit from this. I'm pretty sure I would have lived a Hyper Voice if I hadn't taken that foul play. But what can you do? That does let me get a free switch into the Scizor here, who this set does not OHKO Mega Gardevoir with a Bullet Punch, but it does a huge chunk. And even after, like, if I Bullet Punch and then get Will-O-Wisp or something like that, another Bullet Punch would kill. But like he could think I'm Choice Banded or something like that, which a Bullet Punch I'm pretty sure would kill. But he switches out as I do go for the U-turn. I call that switch, and that allows me to get Primarina back in as I go for the Sparkling Aria again, in case Mamoswine wanted to come in case Alola Marowak wanted to stay in, predicting me to do something else. But Ordino does take a bit more damage there as well. And this point, like, I don't want to get a Thunder Wave on anything else. So Primarina seems like my best play to take a Thunder Wave at this point. In hindsight, potentially dropping the Thunder Wave onto Scizor might have been my best play. But Sparkling Aria does a ton there. And like at this point, I'm kind of baiting whether I'm like Scarf or something like that. I take the Thunder Wave as he wishes. I get paralyzed. That would have been really nice. I Moonblasted there. That would have done potentially enough to like be able to kill it on the next turn. And then he switches out into Mega Gardevoir as I Moonblast again, which paralyzed again. I mean, that's not a huge deal because like the wish had gone up, so if I had hit, it would like Gardevoir would have gone up to full health again anyway. But just like Mega or like Ordino here is now almost full health. Gardevoir is full health. And like Ordino wouldn't be that close to full health if I hadn't been paralyzed that first time. The second time was not a huge deal, but like that's still 3 paralyses from Thunder Wave that have been a little bit annoying, to say the least. I did get a little bit annoyed about it, but what can you do? I feel like Thunder Wave slowing your Mons is like enough of a hindrance that like I don't really feel like the chance to paralyze, like fully paralyze, is healthy for the game. It's a bit frustrating, a bit annoying. And then this was another misplay that I did right here. Switching into Scizor on the Gardevoir instead of trying to get some damage off with Primarina or something like that. Like I know that Gardevoir has Will-O-Wisp, can have Will-O-Wisp, and like it's a pretty obvious bring against my team when I've got the Scizor and stuff like that. Like I mean, most of everything else I bought this week was special, but like this Will-O-Wisp hurt me so much on the Scizor here. Keeping Primarina in and just going for damage would have been a much smarter play. Like, even getting the Will-O-Wisp onto Cresselia would have been fine. Even the Will-O-Wisp onto my Cryogonal would have been fine, to be honest. But yeah, I bring in the Scizor and get the Will-O-Wisp on that, unfortunately. Like, I could have even brought in Salazzle and like got a huge chunk of damage off on something. But what can you do? Misplays, hindsight, stuff like that. But like this is just the beginning of the end for me because after Scizor gets that, he can't break through anything. I go for the Bullet Punch, and yeah, we only do 27% to Mamoswine, so it's not great. I do make the call into Cryogonal there as I get my Hail up. I can't take a Flare Blitz from this, as he flame charges instead. I don't even know if I could have taken a flame charge, to be honest. But that lets him be faster than my Primarina after that paralysis. I do get my my Aurora Veil up there as he flame charges again, so he doesn't have the Flare Blitz. Obviously got the flame charge instead. And that allows me to get my Aurora Veil up, but also allows him to get a third speed boost, unfortunately. Here is probably my next biggest mistake. Like, I have Rest Lumberry. I guess that's why I didn't want to switch the Cresselia in, because it has Lumberry, and getting status would have popped that, unfortunately. But here, I still have like 5 turns left of Aurora Veil, I think. I should have 100% rested on this turn. I was looking at my calcs and I saw I had a chance to live 2 more Shadow Bones from the Marowak, going by what its damage was doing now. And so I thought I could get another Calm Mind off, I could get a Psyshock off or a Rest off. But like, I should have rested first, then got another Calm Mind, and then got a Psyshock off, because I needed +2 to be able to kill this thing at this range. And yeah, so I don't get the rolls I needed, unfortunately, as I do Calm Mind again, and then he's going to knock me out. There was potential for me to live. The first one did a really high roll. If you got 3 of the 32.7 rolls there, then I would have lived it. But what can you do? I should have rested on after the first Calm Mind, then Calm Minded again after that, knock this out, and then nothing else he has could do enough damage to knock out my Cresselia at that point. Like, I could have rested. Like, I mean, Gardevoir was going to have Calm Mind for sure. And he could have Calm Mind up in my Cresselia's face as well, and he would have had Psyshock as well, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, if I'd Calm Minded, if I'd rested and then Calm Minded after and then knocked this thing out, I could have rested up in front of the Mamoswine. Could have rested up again in front of the Meloetta probably, and definitely could have in front of the Ordino, and potentially the Gardevoir as well, depending on what else he has. But even then, like, Meloetta could have got special defense drops, which would have sucked as well, but I should be able to, like, I probably would have been able to do a ton of damage to it. Salazzle would have been able to deal with the Gardevoir quite potentially. But yeah, either way, I'm going to be in trouble. I can't do enough damage with the Salazzle here to be able to get this in range of my Scizor, especially with the burn. Potentially would have with the burn gone, but it's going to be faster than me at +3 anyway. But yeah, so the biggest misplay of that game was the not resting on Cresselia. Letting Scizor get burnt was pretty bad as well. I could have got burnt on any of my special attackers and it wouldn't have been a problem. Potentially getting burnt on my Primarina instead of paralyzed on that would have been much nicer, but getting paralyzed on my Scizor probably would have been nicer than getting paralyzed on my Primarina, to be honest. If I got paralyzed on my Scizor, I wouldn't have been able to get burnt. Still would have had Bullet Punch to be able to hit things real nice. But yeah, what can I say? Just a few misplays ended up with me losing 5-0 to Magic there. I mean, my results against Magic haven't been the best in the first place, so it's whatever. I'm pretty much out of contention for playoffs in this league right now anyway. So, like, that was two 5-0 losses in a row or something like that. So, yeah, while I feel like I got a really good team, I am just not doing very well with it, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know what it's been. I just haven't been playing well, but we'll see. I guess if I can pick it up for the end of the last two games of this season, there is still potential for me to make it into playoffs, but it's just not very likely. But I guess we'll just see what we can do. Um, anyway, yeah, I guess thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later.